Hey everybody, this is Saul Castañeda with MCSC Green Wheels, and as you guys know, this is the old shirt, and it's a good one, still oldie and a goodie. As you guys know, you guys seen us work on our Fox body Mustangs that we're really involved with at the moment. But along with that, man, you guys know that we take in a couple cars, and I have a couple customers that are actually really good friends of mine, and you know, they have their classic cars, so those I fix up for them. For instance, like this one right here. Belongs to a really good friend of mine, also helps me out with a lot of these old cars that he brings into me as projects. He lets me take my time with them and do it the right way. He likes to keep them pretty stock. Very little things get changed up. And as I'm saying that, I'm talking about this 1975 F100. It's a Ford F100. And I think he picked it up over from, I think he was over in Oklahoma. And although the truck was pretty good, it ran good and everything. It has a V8 302 in there. It's a stock differential. It's got rear drums, front disc, leaf springs, and we changed those out. We just put them semi-new. We found some that we had. We threw them on there. As you guys can see, it has a good ride height. Although it looked good and it came from a pretty decent state, it still had some pretty bad rust on the floor. So what we initially ended up doing to this one, we ended up changing out both floor pans here on the driver's side and on the passenger side. Also, we changed out this, I had it covered because I had to weld the floor, and then I had already installed the dash pad. But the dash pad was really badly beaten by the sun. Also was the roof liner over here. This was completely, I think it was brown. And it was really, it's just like a cardboard, but it was really tattered, so we took it off. The other thing we did, we sent the seat out to restoration. I'm not entirely sure who did this, but they did it somewhere out in the somewhere out here in Chicago. I'd have to get that information because he did a really beautiful job on this thing, to be honest with you. Let me get this out of my hand. You know, and look, yeah, he just kind of reskinned it for us, and once we did that, right before we installed it, we put some sound deadening on this bad boy, and we added the new carpeting, as you guys can see. But right before we added the carpeting, we pour 15 the whole bottom after we did the weld job, and we seam sealed it correctly, both top side and bottom side. So this truck will not be rusting, at least from inside this box. As far as I can help it. We also changed out the seat belts. They were completely tattered up and beaten up by the sun. As you guys can see right now, I do not have a steering wheel on there because it's very simple what I'm doing here. The steering wheel's off because number one, it looks like crap. It's broken there and there. So again, the sun just beat this thing up. As you guys can see, it's completely cracked all around here. I think this thing's beyond saving. So what we ended up doing, my buddy ended up getting me a brand new steering wheel, which we have right over here. There we go. We'll be installing this guy, you know, with his new horn bezel as well too. There we go. But along with that, one of the things that I noticed that it's having a real hard time, this is a V8 302 with a 3 on the tree. 3 speeds on the column, which is right up here. So what I ended up doing, I'm changing the bowl, the shifter bowl. And the reason being, although it looks good and everything, is that. I picked this one up off of eBay for 30 bucks. Was not bad. I just gave it a quick spray. My fingerprints are all over it. And as you guys can see, there's your difference. So what this does, it kind of gets the gears, and they're all jumbling around in there, and your shifter lever is kind of like all loosely goosey in there and whatnot. And along with that, on the inside of the shifter lever, it has a little gasket. So as you guys see right here, I'm trying to make one because the gasket that was on here, there you go. And that's due to the cause that it was already beat up on top, so it just kept jiggling around, and they already sheared the top part of it. So what I'm going to do, I found me a little boot here from a spark plug. Looks to be the same size. All I got to do is a little bit of shaping. Shouldn't be that big of a problem. Cut it down to size as far as I need it. Slap it back in, and we're back in business. But
so why do you think the boot from the spark plug will work? How did it come to your mind to think?
And the only reason I'm using that boot from the spark plug is because it's the same style of rubber. The only thing this is just dry, and I use this because it still has good thickness, and we know that these things can take up a lot of heat. They are on the side of the engine half the time, so it ain't gonna get beat up too much by it being inside of here. That's the reason that I'm using it. And all I gotta do is just cut it down just a little bit more, which I plan to do. Shape it just a little bit more, and then, you know, get a little finagling just to fit it all in here. Because what it does, it just gives you an extra little cushion right in here. And as you guys can tell, what happened here, because this got ovaled, it just sheared off the front of this guy, because it's just doing this, you see. So I can't have this because it just messes with the gears so much. So that's why I went ahead and got the new bowl for it. So I'm gonna make the little boot for it, slap it back in here so we don't have any play. It's nice and firm, and it's actually sitting there. It's not just hanging off to the side looking kind of limp. Anyways, along with that,
So if we look back here, it seems as though you've been working and you kind of document what you're doing. Can you walk me through?
so basically when I take on a car, I kind of go over and I give it a little quick you know, what we call triage treatment. So we're gonna go through the engine, we're gonna do suspension, what electric, what interior, and I kind of write it all down in the window of the car. And as I go along, as you guys can see, I've been removing as I go along. We still have to tune the carb. I have to tune the timing because I rebuilt the carb. We did a little bit of work. We just did a real quick tune up to it. You know, some spark plugs, some wires, quick lube changes, and in the front, on the differential, the transmission, all that good stuff. We checked the rear differential already, and we had to adjust the clutch. The clutch had to be adjusted because it was broken down at the linkage. So we already took care of all that. As far as the exterior, as you guys can see, we're talking about the rear window seal, which is right here. The reason we're talking about that is we have this right here. So it's completely dry rotted, and it's just gonna, what's gonna end up happening, it's gonna ruin the floor that we just did, because it's eventually just gonna leak and go inside. The other thing that it says there, the bed hot tub. We're gonna hold off on that for now. But we're gonna move on to the bed trim. We were still thinking about just cutting up a little piece, because at the end of the bed, there's a regular, I wanna say it's a 6-foot bed, 7-foot bed, but at the end of the bed over there, we have a little piece, and I'll show you guys real quick what that is.
Ooh, look at the.
Yeah, it's a little piece. So because of it, because of this side, because they picked this up, this rear door was completely rotted off. It had nothing at the bottom, and the hinges were already gone. So we went ahead and got an aftermarket one. Yay, China. Still works. Does a good job, and I do have the trim that goes on here, and the other side, on the underside. And this is the trim that I'm talking about, and some of these little pieces right here that I know I can backfill with a little bit of, you know, either solder. I mean, I can brazen it, or I can, you know, a little weld. But I don't know, probably a little thin. This definitely is a little thin. It's a lot of thin, if you ask me. So we're gonna go ahead and swap that out in a little bit once I get my piece coming in. One of the other things that we also talked about on the exterior was talking about the graphics. Now, the problem with the graphics, as you guys can tell, pretty old. They're the original graphics on this car. And the only problem that we're talking about the graphics because whoever had this truck prior to us picking it up replaced that door or repaired that door and the front fender. So we have no graphics. My buddy was like, you know what, can you just airbrush them on there? I was like, it's kind of hard to airbrush vintage, but we'll see what we do. We also had to check the electrical. We thought we had a short, but it was just a couple of light bulbs that weren't working properly. We changed those out. Everything in the truck works properly. All the lights starts up right on the dime. So we've done just a little bit more work than we thought we were gonna do, but the truck is in really good conditions. Now, once we get it up and running, we put the steering wheel on there. We're gonna time it, tune the carb, and we should get it back on the road to doing what it does best: haul dirt bikes and have some fun. The window molds are flying off.
That's old.
Dustin wanted me to see if I can airbrush the grass on the side. Oh, that's it. It's nice. It needs a little bit of tuning. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
And it's just We did the interior, we did the floor, so we gotta do a little bit more. Just tune it up.
Yeah, it is.
This is a 302 V8. That's a nice fucking seat. How's everything right now? You put that? Yeah, everything. The floor was rotted. As you guys see, I'm over here at the driver's side now, and you can see that I'm missing these graphics. So there's a little rundown of our F100, our 1975 F100, which is kind of like a Ranger. And, you know, we don't get to put much of this car on there. You know, we really concentrate on the Fox bodies. I hope you guys like that content. Remember, give us some likes, give us some, subscribe for the channel. If you like the content, that'll really help us out a lot for continuous giving you this content. And like I was saying, you guys probably won't see a lot of these cars that I do work on, more of the Fox bodies, maybe even the 78 Trans Am. But we like for everyone to see that our scope of practice on these cars is just a little further than just Fox bodies. So I deal with a lot of other cars than just Fox bodies. Along with that, I want to say thanks to everyone on Facebook. Remember guys, you guys looking for a cheap Mustang or maybe an expensive one, go to our Facebook page and you'll find it. We'll post them up every day. We post Fox bodies up just about every day, from $1,000 to $20,000. It's really up to you. I want to thank everybody on our Instagram. Guys, remember, you like the stuff, give us a like, and especially on our YouTube channel. Head on over, subscribe, share, put it out there for somebody else that needs help. We're trying to show as much content of this to help people in this community. So come on guys, help us out. You know, give us a bone. Share our content, let people know that we're out here trying to help everybody save their Fox bodies. And along with that, before the rain comes down, you guys have a great night, and we will see you soon.